Hi, grade threes. Today I'm going to show you my PowerPoint, a little bit about me. This PowerPoint, there's a blank version of it on our Google Classroom that you guys are going to fill out so I can learn all about you. We're going to look at mine as an example. So the first question is my name is Caitlin Gillies, but I like to be called Miss Gillies. I am 25 years old, and my favorite book is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And then here is a spot you could put a self-portrait or photograph of, and this is me as a reader. If you can't put in a picture into the slide, you don't have to worry about doing that. Only if you want to, you could add a picture in that spot. Now, the next slide is a lot of questions that are going to ask you how you feel about reading. So the first question is how I feel when I read a picture book. So I put that I feel very happy when I read a picture book. How I feel when I read a chapter book. Very happy when I read a chapter book. How I feel when I read fiction. So that's a story that is not true. So a fiction story is a story that someone's made up. And I put that I mostly am really happy when I read fiction. How I feel when I read nonfiction. So that's a book that's about something true. I really like reading nonfiction books because I like learning while I'm reading. So I put that. That makes me really happy. How I feel when someone reads to me at home. So you are going to take this yellow circle, and if you click on it, you can move it. I accidentally changed to the other slide, but you can move that yellow circle onto the happy face to show me how you feel when someone reads to you. The next one is how I feel during a read aloud at school. So do you like reading out loud at school? How I feel when I read with a friend. How I feel when I read for fun at home. Now the next page has some more questions. How I feel about starting a new book. How I feel about reading different kinds of books. How I feel when I read alone with a teacher. How I feel when I read in a small group in school. How I feel when a teacher asks me questions. How I feel during reading time in school. How I feel about learning from a book, and how I feel about reading out loud. So lots of questions that you're going to answer by moving these yellow circles onto the smiley face that you think shows me how you feel about each of these statements. Next, we have things I love to read about. And there's some ideas on the side here of things you might like to read about. So maybe you like reading a mystery story, or an adventure story about magic, a story about real people, about friendship, animals, maybe like reading about outer space, fairy tales, funny stories, science, or maybe like reading graphic novels. So I wrote that I love reading about outer space, about history, adventures, and biographies. Biographies are stories about real people, kind of just a different way to say I like reading about real people. Okay, the next slide is books I love. So I typed in some books that I really love reading. So I love reading Harry Potter. I love reading The Chronicles of Narnia. Les Miserables is a book I really love. 1984 is a book I really love. The Great Gatsby, and The Hobbit. Authors I love. So I wrote down the author, author is a person who has written something. So you might have to go find your favorite books and figure out who the author was. So a list of authors I love are J.K. Rowling, Mary Shelley, Lewis Carroll, and J.R.R. Tolkien. Those are some authors that I like reading. Okay, the next one is characters I love. So characters are the people or animals in a story. So here is a list of characters I love. I like Hermione Granger, Katniss Everdeen, Sherlock Holmes, and Frodo Baggins. Next, you have a goal. So you're going to make a goal for reading. one reading goal I have this year is, and I wrote that I would like to read 2 chapter books a month this year. So every year I want to try to finish 2 books. So that's going to be reading about 1 book every 2 weeks. So I'm going to try my very best to keep up with that goal throughout the year. Now the next slide is places I love to read. So I took a picture of the places I love to read and then wrote a little bit about them. So I said I love to read outside in the sun. I love to read in my living room. And I love to read in my bedroom with my dog, who likes to sit on my lap sometimes when I read. I took pictures and put my pictures in here, but just like I said on the first slide, you don't have to put your pictures in there. Only if you want to, that might be something fun you can add. But if you don't want to put your pictures, you can just tell me 3 places you'd like to read. That is the last slide in this presentation. So I can't wait to look at your slides and learn all about you. Once you are all finished completing the About You as a reader, which like I said is found on our Google Classroom, you're gonna click this share button. And once you click the share button, it's gonna load people you can share it with. And you wanna share it with me, so you're gonna type in KATELYN.Gillies, GILLIES. And after you do that, my name right here should come up. It has @learn.cssd.ab.ca at the end. So you're gonna click on that. And you are going to send it off to me so I can learn all about you. Don't forget, grade 3s, you guys want to read 15 minutes every day. If you read just 15 minutes a day, in 1 year, you will have read over 1 million words. That's our goal, you guys. So remember, 15 minutes a day. That's also our minimum. If you can read more than that, that's fantastic. Thank you.